Yo, what going on? What going on? Y'all know who it is, and we back in here with another one. So, bro, basically coming on here talking about the UFO here. I actually already recorded a video to this shit, but I ain't really like it. I ain't gonna lie. So I'ma just redo it. Feel me? But this UFO here and this shit, bro, basically one of the main things people talking about is they live in the water and stuff like that. And also people saying like they still really ain't told us. You know what I'm saying? Like they still hiding shit. But people gotta understand, they literally cannot tell you. They can't tell you, bro. For people in the Young Cavo University, y'all already know why they can't tell you. You feel me? This shit way deeper than just, oh, they lying to us. It's way deeper than that. They lying to you for a reason. You feel me? And people think they don't want the public to panic. That's part of the reason why. But dog, this shit, you feel me? They literally can't. It's a matter of survival. Literally. They cannot give you your memories back, bro. Cosmic family. They can't tell you this shit, bro. They can't. Your memories would start to get unlocked and all types of shit. But we finna get into it. Show y'all some TikToks and stuff like that.
The important things that were said today are obvious. You know, a few things were mentioned. Lou Elizondo made it very clear that we are in possession of reverse engineer.
Let me be clear. UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries.
So these are things we know, that they are real, and that not only the United States possesses this, but also some of our adversaries. Also, at the same time, remember the biologics thing? You got to add all of the good stuff that was mentioned today. Well, the biologics is the real deal.
Right.
Previously testified that there was biologics that were collected. Are you aware of any of that?
I am, sir, aware of the reporting that biologics have been recovered.
So, biologics have been recovered. We also heard David Grush say that, but he just came right out and said it. So we know UAPs are real, that foreign adversaries have them as well. Biologics are real. But are there documents that would tell us about this? And would there be responses on these documents describing what these things are?
This is a presentation from the UATP task force. This is completely absurd. It's nuts, this level of censorship, of redaction on a document. It shows the redaction of how many reports they've collected, for how many years. 2 of the 3 potential explanations are blacked out.
So yes, foreign adversaries, they also have the technology. We have the technology. We're reverse engineering it. Also, we have the biologics, but where are the documents? Oh, wait a minute. The documents have been collected, but they haven't been declassified. They've just been blacked out because there is a secret government somewhere that doesn't want you to know who they are, what they want. Guess what? We know it's real. We got that. We already knew that. But you know what? Why are they covering it up? Why are we being treated like children? Why can't we know who these beings are? Or if it is a foreign adversary with this technology, which we know that's not what it is. Leave your comments.
They literally cannot tell you. People in the Young Cavo University, we already hip to what's going on. So we ain't even tripping.
Here's all the news from the Congress hearing on UFOs in 2 minutes. Now, the first big question everybody had is, why is the government classifying this info so hard? It's idiotic to think we're not alone in the world.
They have to.
Why is it such a big secret? Why does it need to be a secret? And we never got an answer. Next up is most of UAPs are drones, and they're making turns at excess of 3,000 Gs, or 3,000 times the force of gravity. A normal fighter jet pilot can do 9 Gs for about a second or two, and he will black out afterwards. These guys are doing 3,000 Gs. I don't know what materials on Earth could hold up with that kind of force. I don't think they could at all. Next up, there's a huge relationship between UAP sightings at military installations as well as nuclear energy sites. Also, it's better than anything we have in the US inventory. It says right here that if we are not told what this is, it could have an intelligence failure that would eclipse that of 9/11. Nobody knew what that meant. People asked a lot of questions, no clarification at all. Next up, the government did admit that they had been retrieving UAPs and reverse engineering the craft for a long time, but again, they gave no specifics. These guys blue-balled us really hard. They planned this out for a year, they hyped it up for a year, and they practically told us nothing new. But they did cover the fact that whistleblowers have been threatened in the past, and some of them have lost their lives or had them ruined over trying to bring light to this topic. So again, what about this needs to be kept so secret? That was questioned, and they said, well, it started during the Cold War. We had to keep it a secret, and we didn't want to tell you until we fully knew what we were dealing with. It's been 65 years. What? Then it was suggested that NASA holds, small group meetings where people can give speeches and members can drink wine, like a little social gathering to talk about UAPs. They should just tell us what the hell's going on instead of adding all this extra shit into it. And the last one is one of the whistleblowers just said that we're in the middle of a multi-decade secretive arms race. So think of it like the space race, but try to make UFOs for war. That's how they worded this. That's probably why it's been kept so secret. I don't believe it at all. That's a big steaming load of BS. Anyways, that wraps it up. My thoughts on it tomorrow. I love you guys, and thank you.
Like I said, they can't tell you, bro. They cannot tell you. You know how much shit they gotta explain, bro. If they said that, they gotta explain these black people genetics. They gotta explain all this shit. They gotta explain the pyramids in Egypt, the pyramids in America. Basically, they gotta tell you the planet got invaded. You know how much explaining that is, bro? They gotta tell you about Saturn and everything. You know how much explaining that is, bro? How pissed off you think we gonna be? You feel me? They can't tell you, bro. They can't.
I am all for airing out the government and their secret programs when it comes to UAPs and UFOs and then manipulating the technology and recreating it and all that stuff. But what I really want to fucking know is, are we alone in this universe? I don't think that we are. It'd be damn near impossible to be alone in this universe. I mean, have you seen it? It's fucking massive. And what a coincidence that we just end up on the planet that can host life. There's not another planet like that. Anyways, I digress. How does this House subcommittee plan to expose the truth about UFOs or UAPs, whatever you want to call them? The plan to expose the truth is these four gentlemen right here. They plan to use their testimony to get to the bottom of what's going on with these UFOs, UAPs, this non-human intelligence. These four gentlemen use the non-human intelligence wording a shit ton through their opening statements that they have already released, and I have read through all of them. The information that these four provide in their opening statements tells me there is no way we are alone in this universe just based on their testimony alone. There is no way you get this many scientists, you get military personnel, government officials, and the public to line up behind one subject and say, hey, no, I want to know what the fuck is going on. Hopefully we find out a little bit tomorrow. Join me on live.
So that video right there must have already been, you know what I'm saying? She already recorded it.
I will now recognize Mr. Elizondo for his opening statement.
Greetings, Chairwoman Mace, Chairman Grothman, Ranking Members Connolly and Garcia, and members of the committee. It is my honor and privilege to testify before you on the issue of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, formerly known as UFOs. On behalf of our brave men and women in uniform and across the intelligence community, as well as my fellow Americans who have awaited this day, thank you for your leadership on this important matter. Let me be clear, UAP are real. Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations around the globe. Furthermore, the U.S. is in possession of UAP technologies, as are some of our adversaries. I believe we are in the midst of a multi-decade secretive arms race, one funded by misallocated taxpayer dollars and hidden from our elected representatives and oversight bodies. For many years, I was entrusted with protecting some of our nation's most sensitive programs. In my last position, I managed a special access program on behalf of the White House and the National Security Council. As such, I appreciate the need to protect certain sensitive intelligence and military information. I consider my oath to protect secrets as sacred, and I will always put the safety of the American people first. With that said, I also understand the consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11, which many of us remember all too well. I believe that America's greatness depends on three elements: A, a watchful Congress, B, a responsive executive branch, and C, an informed public. Over the last decade and a half, I learned that certain UAP programs were and are operating without any of these elements. Although much of my government work on the UAP subject still remains classified, excessive secrecy has led to grave misdeeds against loyal civil servants, military personnel, and the public, all to hide the fact that we are not alone in the cosmos. A small cadre within our own government involved in the UAP topic has created a culture of suppression and intimidation that I've personally been victim to, along with many of my former colleagues. This includes unwarranted criminal investigations, harassment, and efforts to destroy one's credibility. Most Americans would be shocked to learn that the Pentagon's very own Public Affairs Office openly employs a professional psychological operations officer as the singular point of contact for any UAP-related inquiries from citizens and the media. This is unacceptable. Many of my former colleagues and I have provided classified testimony to both the Department of Defense and the Intelligence Community Inspector General, and many of us have subsequently been targeted by this cabal with threats to our careers, our security clearances, and even our lives. This is not hyperbole, but a genuine fact, and this is wrong. To fix these problems, I propose 3 principal actions. First, Congress and the President should create a single point of contact responsible for a whole-of-government approach to the UAP issue. Currently, the White House, CIA, NASA, the Pentagon, Department of Energy, and others play a role, but no one seems to be in charge, leading to unchecked power and corruption. Second, we need a national UAP strategy that will promote transparency and help restore the American public's trust at a time when the public's trust is at an all-time low. This strategy should include a whole-of-government approach, including the academic and scientific communities, the private sector, and our international partners and allies. Third, Congress should create a protected environment so whistleblowers desperate to do the right thing can come forward without fear. As it currently stands, these whistleblowers suffer because of stigma, a code of silence, and concerns about retaliation. These whistleblowers should be encouraged to come forward in ways that protect them against any forms of retaliation. Policies and procedures should ensure that protection, and for those who refuse to cooperate, it is up to the members of this committee and the other lawmakers to wield their subpoena power against hostile witnesses and prevent additional government funding to those UAP efforts that remain hidden from congressional oversight. In closing, we as Americans have never been afraid of a challenge. In fact, we thrive on them, whether it's eradicating polio or going to the moon. We don't run from a challenge, we take it head on. To the incoming administration and Congress, I say to you, we need immediate public transparency, and this hearing is an important step on that journey. If we approach the UAP topic in the same way as we, as Americans, have met other challenges, we can restore our faith in our government institutions. Together, we can usher in a new era of accountable government and scientific discovery. I believe that we as Americans can handle the truth, and I also believe the world deserves the truth.
They are never going to tell you, like real shit. They literally can't, bro. They literally can't. They cannot tell you what's going on. They gonna keep skipping around this shit. Literally, they gonna keep skipping around this shit.
Aliens are in the ocean. And different Congress and U.S. government officials just came out with a whole hearing and just told us everything we needed to know about these UFO sightings. Now, instead of UFOs, they mainly call them UAPs, which is any object that's in the air or sea that can't be immediately unidentified or explained, because they try to avoid the alien stigma of the term UFO. But they literally just had this huge meeting Wednesday, and all 4 of these men that were the witnesses were like retired people in the Navy and different branches high up in the military and government. And each one of these men talked about different situations with the UFOs underwater. And one of the men talked about how there was an unidentified underwater craft following a U.S. submarine. And he said nothing that they knew of technology-wise could replicate that. And the speed of the object was faster than anything they could think of. He kept saying it was like an underwater torpedo. And this man, I believe his name is Elizondo, he went more in depth about the stuff that's going on more than anybody. Because in this whole hearing, they're telling us this stuff, but they are very cautious at what they say. And he said that there is excessive secrecy. And he said it has been used to hide the fact that we are not alone and we haven't been alone for a long time. And in this hearing, the people would ask them questions like, do you believe that the government is aware of this stuff? And they all was like, yes. They've been knew what was going on for a minute now. They asked them, do they believe that some people can communicate with them? And they said yes. This whole hearing is actually very crazy because like these are like high up men and branches of the military and like the government. Serious men that I highly doubt would be coming up with some alien stories. And men that actually has families and lives to go back to. And this can be a dangerous topic. And like I said, one slip up could have messed up everything. So they had to be very cautious at what they told us. So that just makes me think like everything that I talk about in the ocean, I just know it's real. That's why I just believe everything in the Bermuda Triangle is a portal. I believe that they're mermaids. What if aliens were mermaids? Like, what if they're in cahoots with each other? Like, people believe that these underwater kingdom creatures are demonic. So we've been in cahoots and we having these demons that's living in our oceans that we swim in. It's a lot, y'all. It is a lot. And they just keep telling us like they had a literal meeting last year about the same topic. Not too many people talked about it. Like they're literally telling us this stuff and people still don't believe. I know some people are like, oh, I have to see it to believe it. Did you see dinosaurs and you believe it? No, you only believe it because they told us that in school, but you did not see that. The same way they have fossils and stuff, that's how we know that they're true. These people are literally telling us there's actual unknown spacecrafts in our oceans that they have seen, and there's some parts of it hidden. Is that not enough for y'all to believe, y'all? But my thing is, why are they now? Why are they now telling us this stuff? What is happening? What are they preparing us for? Because at the end of the day, they told us. They can't say they did not tell us. It's the law of nature or something. They gotta tell us. They gotta tell us. But let me know what y'all think about the fact that these aliens could be in our oceans. And let me know if y'all watched the video too. It's actually very interesting.
Don't care how she said, bro. They can't say they didn't tell you. They're using karmic law. So when shit do go down for real, nigga, they done told you. Your ass just didn't listen. You were too worried about Mike Tyson. But see, that's not the public's fault. They got you perfectly programmed like that. Y'all know that how quick people's attention span can just go all over the place. 1 minute it's UFO, then it's Mike Tyson, then it did. You feel me? Just being real, man. Y'all can't see we in a matrix, man. You think niggas that came out of cave can make a system this intelligent? But yeah, that's pretty much it. Leave y'all thoughts in the comments about whatever y'all think. But it's the age of Aquarius, man. The truth coming out, bro. It coming out. They can't hide the fact that these black people gods and the planet got taken, etc., etc. Why you think natural disasters and all this shit going on like this, bro? They lying to y'all about global warming. Trump told y'all global warming ain't real. Niggas just think he just talking. But that being said, this is the end of the video, and we out.